So the next content in VHDL is subprograms. So what are the subprograms and what is the purpose of subprograms? What are the different types of subprograms? So we will discuss in this class. So subprograms. So the subprograms are similar to the subprograms are the procedures found in the other languages. If you take in a C language, or if you take in any other languages like a microprocessor, or if you take in any other languages, if you take the subprograms. So usually the subprograms refer with the a piece of the code or a piece of the program which is detached from the main program, which is not the part of the main program. It is a separate program which is written separately, and this separate code is repeatedly used in your main program to achieve or to perform a function. This is what we usually do in the other languages with the subprograms. So here the subprograms are similar to the procedures or the subprograms found in the other languages. So what is the advantage with the subprograms? So here these subprograms allow the repeatedly used code to be referenced multiple times without rewriting the code. So instead of rewriting the code again and again in the main program, so we can write these group of statements separately, and you can call them in your main designing VHDL code whenever you will require, or whenever you wanted to perform a repeated operation in your VHDL design, this system design. So simply the subprograms are nothing but these are all a group of statements which are written separately, and they can be called in our VHDL main program to perform the same function. To perform the same function. So which means that the subprograms can be viewed as a piece of codes. So from the main program, you can, I mean that you can write a separate, they can be write it as a separate VHDL code, and this VHDL code, the small VHDL code can be repeatedly, or you can use multiple number of times for designing of a digital system. For example, you can write a NAND gate as a subprogram, and you can call that NAND gate subprogram in your VHDL code. So whenever you require to use that NAND gate VHDL code. Okay, so the advantage is it allows repeatedly used code to be referenced multiple times without rewriting. And the very important point is subprograms contain sequential statements in VHDL. In VHDL, the subprograms contains sequential statements. So actually, in the VHDL, we will build a digital system in the VHDL using entity and architecture. As we know that a VHDL code can be built using entity and architecture. And what an entity does? An entity, it defines the input and output parameters of the system, and the architecture defines the functionality of the system. So in the architecture, we will describe the functionality of the digital system using these statements here. And there are two types of the statements, which are the concurrent assignment statements, sequential assignment statements. So we will describe the functionality of the circuit using the assignment statements. Assignment statements. There are two types of the assignment statements: concurrent assignment statements, sequential assignment statements. What is the difference between the concurrent assignment statements and the sequential assignment statements? concurrent assignment statements instantaneously and simultaneously they will be get executed. If you have a three concurrent statements, all the three concurrent statements simultaneously executed. Whereas the sequential statements, they have order. According the sequence, according the order, they will execute one by one in the sequential statements. So the subprograms are the sequential statements. So it contains the sequential statements, which means that whatever the statements we will assign in that architecture body, they will be executed one by one. There is an order. And here the subprogram in the VHDL point of view, you can also define it as a subprogram has the sequential statements contained inside and is called from a process. We have a statement process. At 2 we haven't discussed about the process, but we will discuss in the third unit about the statement process. There is a statement called the process, which is mainly used in the behavior modeling of the VHDL. So here the subprograms are the sequential statements and they are placed inside the process statement here. Remember this one. Subprograms are written inside of the process statement. Okay. And there are two kinds of the subprograms. There are two different types of the subprograms in the VHDL: procedures and functions. Procedure is a subprogram and functions is a subprogram. So there are two different types of the subprograms. So now, how we can understand these procedures and functions here? In a single statement, we can say that the functions returns a single value, procedures return multiple values. Actually, the functions and procedures are meant to perform a function, right? So which means that you will have a group of sequential statements and they will be executed, and by executing that group of statements, they will return a result. I mean that they will return a value. So the difference between the procedure and function is, when you execute a procedure, it returns multiple values. It may return multiple values. Whereas the function, when you execute a function, it returns single value only. It will return single value only. So that's why usually the functions are expressed as they will be used as a expression, or they will be used as a statement in the expressions, but the procedures are be a subprogram here. I mean that they will be having a group of statements. In the functions, you will have only a 2 to 3 limited number of statements, and they can be executed. And by executing that function, it return a single value only. That is the major difference between the functions and procedures. In a simple way, the procedures return multiple values and functions return single value. And the another important point is subprograms contain sequential statements, right? It contains the sequential statements. So we will discuss about the procedures and functions. So what is a procedure here? A procedure is nothing but a subprogram to group sequential statements. Nothing but it is a group of sequential statements. And then the procedure is, so what is the purpose of the procedure? It is used to group together the executable sequential statements. Simply that the procedure is it has a sequential statements, so they will be executed. And every procedure has a name and a set of parameters. We will identify a procedure with a procedure name, and that procedure internally refers with a set of parameters. It has a name and a set of parameters. And the another point is procedures can be called in any place of the architecture. సో జనరల్గా మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే విహెచ్ఎల్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాసేటప్పుడు ఆర్కిటెక్చర్ని మనం దాని యొక్క ఫంక్షనాలిటీ డిస్క్రైబ్ చేయడానికి కావాల్సిన ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ రాస్తాం. సో కాబట్టి ఇన్ ది ఆర్కిటెక్చర్ బాడీ యూ కెన్ యూజ్ ది ప్రొసీజర్ ఎట్ ఎనీ ప్లేస్. At any place you can use the procedures in the architecture body of the VHDL. And here the procedure can be defined, or the procedure definition, it consists of the two parts here. One is the procedure declaration and the procedure body. So easily to understand this, simply the procedure consists the two parts: procedure declaration, procedure body. Like entity declaration, right? And architecture. In the architecture we have declaration and architecture body. So similarly here the procedure, it consists the two parts: procedure declaration, procedure body. So what is the purpose of procedure declaration? The procedure has two parts: procedure declaration, procedure body. So the procedure declaration consists of the procedure name and the parameters that we listed in that procedure. So it just simply like an entity of a VHDL program. It just like an entity of a VHDL program. What an entity says, it just says what are the inputs and outputs of the design. So now in the procedure declaration also, so it consists the procedure name and what are the parameters. I mean that input and output parameters are there, right? So they will be declared in this procedure declaration. And what about the procedure body? The procedure body defines the sequential statements. So it is a procedures algorithm which is composed of the sequential statements. And simple ga ikkada em cheptundi, procedure body entante what is the exact operation that we wanted to perform, that we will write it in the form of sequential statements. We will write it in the form of sequential. So simply the procedure declaration consists the procedure name and the parameters which we wanted to list about the design, and the procedure body consists the sequential statements. And whatever the declarations we will declare in the procedure, they are only local to this declaration only, because the procedure can be used in some other design also. In multiple designs we use the procedures. Suppose if you have declared any signal or constant and variables, so they will be local and they will be mean to that local declaration only. They cannot be used outside of the procedure, but the functionality can be implemented in the multiple entities. So here we will see the syntax to this procedure. So in the syntax, what a procedure consists? A procedure consists two parts. What are the two parts here? Procedure declaration, procedure body. So see this syntax here. It has a declaration part. It has a declaration part. This is called declaration part. And this is called procedure body. This is called procedure body. So this is called the procedure body, and this is called the declaration part of the procedure. So now observe this here. We have a keyword procedure followed by the procedure name, and here you will declare the input output parameters. So if you have a multiple parameters, you can declare all here with this keyword is. And if you want to declare the further declarations, you can declare those also. And then we start the sequential statements, writing the sequential statements with the keyword begin. So whatever the statements you will write after this begin, they are sequential statements. All these are the sequential statements. What you mean that sequential statements? They will be executed in an order. And after writing of the sequential statements, we will end the procedure with the procedure name. Okay, so for this we will see an example to this procedure. See this procedure. So which part is the declaration part and which part is the procedure body part? So if you see, this is the declarative part and this is the procedure body part. You can easily understand this example. So look at this procedure. So it is started with the keyword procedure with the procedure name, user defined word, process or procedure one. And what are the parameters you have declared here? You have declared a signal, a clock, and values is a type of standard logic vector. Signals S1, S2 are the output mode, which is a type of standard logic. And a variable V1 and V2 are the output, which is a type of standard logic. So which means in the procedure declarative part, you have declared the signals and variables and also a wait time, which is the type of data type of time, which is initial value 10 seconds. All these are the parameters, and in these parameters you have input parameters and you have output parameters too, right? Right? And now see this, the procedure body part. So the procedure body part, it starts after the begin statement. Above the begin statement or the before the begin statement, it is the declarative part. After the begin, it is the body of the procedure. Now see this. So here you are using the sequential statements. The sequential, one of the sequential statement is if, and the rising edge of the clock, then you are assigning a values of S1, S2, V1 and V2. So the S1 and S2 are the output, isn't it? From the declaration part, the S1 and S2 are the outputs and V1 and V2 are the again outputs. V1 and V2 are also again output here. And how you are assigning the values? You are assigning the values from this standard vector. See this values. Values is a type of standard logic vector, and you are assigning each literal to the one of the output signal. So that is, there are 0 to 3. Let's say the vector is 0 to 3 because you have only 4 bits here. Value 0, value 1, value 2 and value 3. And you are assigning the values of 0 to S1 signal, which is a single bit. S2 is also a bit vector. V1 and V2 are the variables, but they are the type of the standard logic bit, not bit vector. So which means that simply this program is, it performs the whatever the values you are assigned to the static logic standard logic vector, they are separated as a single bit and they are assigned to a one output signal respectively S1, S2, V1, V2 as 0, 1, 2 and 3. And once if this cycle is performed one time, if it is executed one time, then it will wait for the wait time. So how long it will wait here? Initial value you have assigned as 10 nanoseconds. So this entire cycle will have a pause for 10 seconds. After 10 nanoseconds, after 10 nanoseconds, again the value is, again these instructions are executed. Unless if you come out of the loop, which means that pressing the reset button. So it is a simple procedure. A procedure is nothing but a simple VHDL architecture program. I mean that VHDL program, where in the VHDL program you will have an entity and architecture. In the procedure also you will have the similar one, but they are with the different names: procedure declarative part and procedure body. right? So simple one, which is nothing but a small VHDL program. Okay, and then this is about the procedure. Now, if you see, as I said that in the previous one, the procedure returns multiple values. So can you observe the multiple values here? What are the multiple values? S1, S2, V1, V2. These are all multiple values, right? So the procedures return multiple values. What about functions? Functions returns only single value. So we will see that. Okay, this is about procedure. And then functions. So what is a function? A function is nothing but a subprogram which is also to group the sequence of statements and returns a value. So it returns a single value. It returns a single value here. It returns the single value. And second, so the function is used to group the sequential statements together and to define the mathematical logic functions. So what all these sequential statements determines? So they will determines a mathematical function or a logical function. So the important feature of the functions is that they are used as expressions that returns a value of specified type, which means that it will returns a specified type of value with a single value only. Multiple values cannot be returned. And what a function consists here? Similar to the procedure, here also it consists the declaration part and it also consists the declaration body. So what a function declaration part consists? It consists the name and the parameter declarations and the type of value which is to be returned by the function. So one extra element is there, which is return with the type of value. That is the extra function added to the functions. And what a function body consists? A function body defines or it consists the local declarations of the nested subgroups. Whatever we wanted to describe in the body, I mean whatever we want to describe by the function, so that will be all placed in the function body. So that you can write the types, you can write the constants, you can write the variables, you can use the files and also use the attributes, and as well as the sequence of the statement specifying the algorithm to perform the desired function. So like the procedure, the function will also have function declaration, function body. Procedure has procedure declaration, procedure body. Is it clear? So the procedures and functions both will have the two parts: procedure declaration, procedure body, function declaration and function body. So we will see the syntax of the function. And here, so before do that, the function body contains the function. So that is what the function the executed option which is to be implemented. So that we will write in data conversion. Okay, so ivanni enti mana task manam cheyalanuntunnnam, man digital system design cheyadaniki avi manaki kavali. సో వాటన్నిటిని మనం ఒక సెపరేట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ కింద రాసుకుని వీటి లో రిపీటెడ్ గా యూజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. దానివల్ల మనకు వచ్చే అడ్వాంటేజ్ ఏంటి? రీరైటింగ్ ఆఫ్ ది ప్రోగ్రామ్ అనేది మనకి మీన్ దట్ నాట్ టు రైట్ ద ప్రోగ్రామ్ again, we need not to declare the programs again and again. So body, which in turn consists the declaration sequential. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ఓకే కొంచెం నెట్వర్క్ ఇష్యూస్ వల్ల అది మళ్ళీ రీకనెక్ట్ అయింది. సో we will continue. So only I will take 2 more minutes. So we will conclude for the today's session. Just one second. So here the functions consists the 2 parts: function declaration, function body. And again, the function body in turn, it consists the declarations and the sequential statements. If anything, if anything extra needed to define the digital system, so in that case, you can also describe, you can also declare your signals, variables, constants in the functional body also. Okay, so for that, the declarations can be used. Okay, so the architecture body in turn, it consists the declarations and the sequential statements. Don't get confused here. Function declarations lo declarations untai. Function body lo kuda optional idi. Declarations ichkochu kavalsi vaste, otherwise directly statements will be written. And very important is a function body must execute a return statement because the function returns a single value. And variables are not allowed in the functions. Remember this. This is also very important. Only the signals and constants are allowed to declare in the functions. Variables will not be allowed as a object in the functions. But in the procedures, you can use signals of variables, constants. But in the functions, only the signals and constants are allowed. Variables are not allowed. Variables are not allowed. So we will see the syntax to this. So see this. So which part is the declarative part? This is the declarative part of the function, and this is body. And in the body also you can declare the declarations, which are the optional. If you want, if it is necessary, you can give. If not, you need not to give the declarations. Okay, so the exact statements are starts to write between the begin and end function. So after the begin, you will start writing the sequential statements, and it is end with the end function with the end function name. So look, the difference between the procedure and function is, in the procedure you have the procedure name, but there is no return statement. But now in the functions you will have a return statement. Okay, in the procedures it doesn't have the return statement. Functions it have return statement. So see an example here. So see this example. So this is a function, and here you have declared the two signals in the declarative part. A and B are the signals, and which are the type of integer. And the another signal is max value, which is a type of integer. So now how many number of signals are there? 3. A is one signal, B is second signal, max value is third signal. And they are return integer. The type of return value is integer only. Inside the parameters you have the type integer, and you are returning the same type of value. This is the declarative part. Now see the body of the function. In the body of the function, the actual statements are start after the begin statement. And here you have a variable. See this? I mean that assign operator. So temp a plus b, and you are assigning the value, the addition of a plus b value to the temporary value, and you are checking the value temporary with the maximum value. So in the declaration you have the maximum value. Let's say the maximum value is 16, and let's say the values of a and b are the 3. So now what is the temp value here? The temp value is 2 plus 3, 5. And now check the condition. If temp is greater than maximum value, then maximum is maximum value. Maximum is maximum value. Okay, but with the example you see, the a plus b are the 5 and the maximum value is 16 that we have assumed. So now this condition is not true here, because the temp value is 5 and the maximum value is 16. Therefore this statement is false, right? But there is a other condition. If it is not, else it has to check for this. What is this? The temp value is directly assigned as the maximum value. What is the temp value you have? 5. That is assigned to the maximum. And now what value you are returning here? You are returning the value maximum. What is the maximum? The maximum is temp value. What is the temp value? The temp value is the a plus b. So that is the maximum value after executing this function is 5. End function. So it returns only a single value. Observe this, single value. In the procedure, in the previous example, in the procedure, you have seen multiple values, right? S1, S2, V1, V2 are assigned with the V of 0, V of 1, V of 2, and V of 3. Right? But for the function, it returns only a single value. Remember that. Okay. So this is example to the procedures and functions. And here the very important point is, with that we will conclude for today's session. The very important point is you make an observation. So in the functions, meer cheppandi. Nenu function chupistanu, ikkada nenu chupistunanu with cursor tho, meer observe cheyandi. Meer functions lo ఏం డిఫైన్ చేశారు? ఇన్పుట్ మాత్రమే డిఫైన్ చేశారు, అవునా కదా? అవుట్పుట్ అనేది డిఫైన్ చేయాల, అంటే అవుట్పుట్ సిగ్నల్ ని మీరు డిక్లేర్ చేయలేదు, అవునా? రైట్. ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఒక్కసారి ప్రొసీజర్కి రండి, బ్యాక్ సైడ్కి రండి, ఒకసారి ప్రొసీజర్కి వెళ్దాం. జస్ట్ వన్ సెకండ్. ఒకసారి వాల్యూ చూడండి. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ అబ్జర్వ్ చేయండి, మీరు ప్రొసీజర్లో ఏం చేశారు? ఇన్ అవుట్. అంటే ప్రొసీజర్లో డిక్లేర్ చేసే సిగ్నల్స్ కానీ, ప్రొసీజర్లో డిక్లేర్ చేసే వేరియబుల్స్ కానీ, మనము వాటికి మోడ్ అనే దాన్ని డిఫైన్ చేయొచ్చు. ఇన్ మోడ్, అవుట్ మోడ్, ఆర్ ఇంకొక మోడ్ ఉంది మీకు గుర్తుందా? ఏంటది? ఇన్ అవుట్ మోడ్. గుర్తుందా? 4 మోడ్స్ మీకు: ఇన్ అవుట్, బఫర్. ఇక్కడ ప్రొసీజర్లో మీరు టైప్ ఆఫ్ ద సిగ్నల్ని ఇన్ కింద డిఫైన్ చేయొచ్చు, అవుట్ కింద డిఫైన్ చేయొచ్చు, ఇన్ అవుట్ కింద డిఫైన్ చేయొచ్చు. ఓకే, బట్ ప్రొసీజర్లో మనకి ఈ 3 ఆప్షన్స్ని యూస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఫంక్షన్స్లో దెర్ ఈజ్ నో అవుట్పుట్ మోడ్. దట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఫంక్షన్స్లో రైట్ సీ దిస్, ఫంక్షన్స్లో అవుట్పుట్ అనేది ఉండదు. ఎందుకని? బికాస్ ఇట్ ఆల్వేస్ యాక్సెప్ట్ ద ఇన్పుట్, ఇట్ ఆల్వేస్ టేక్స్ ద ఇన్పుట్ and it returns a specific type of output. అందుకనే మనం ఫంక్షన్స్లో అవుట్పుట్ అనే దాన్ని డిక్లేర్ చేయము. నేను చెప్పేది అర్థమవుతుంది కదా మీ అందరికీ? ఫంక్షన్స్కి ప్రొసీజర్కి తేడా ఏంటి? ఫంక్షన్స్ అనేవి మల్టిపుల్ వాల్యూస్ని ప్రొసీజర్స్ అనేవి మల్టిపుల్ వాల్యూస్ని రిటర్న్ చేస్తుంది. ఫంక్షన్స్ అనేది సింగిల్ వాల్యూని మాత్రమే రిటర్న్ చేస్తుంది. ఒక డిఫరెన్స్. రెండో డిఫరెన్స్ చూడండి, ప్రొసీజర్స్లో ఏం చెప్తున్నాము? మోడ్ ఆఫ్ ద సిగ్నల్ని ఇన్ అవుట్ కింద మనం డిఫైన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, మనం యూజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. కానీ ఫంక్షన్స్లో మాత్రం ఓన్లీ ఇన్ మోడ్ మాత్రమే ఉంటుంది. దేర్ ఈజ్ నో అవుట్ మోడ్, దెర్ ఈజ్ నో అవుట్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ మోడ్. ఎందుకనంటే బికాస్ ఆల్వేస్ ద ఫంక్షన్స్ మస్ట్ రిటర్న్ ఏ వాల్యూ. సో దట్స్ వై దిస్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ it will be the output of the function. So hope you understand the procedures and functions. Simply the procedures and functions are nothing but the subprograms. In a subprogram we will write a piece of code, I mean that a small code, we will write a piece of code and we will use that code repeatedly in the other multiple designs. ఈ ఒక్క డిజైన్లోనే కాదు, మనకి కావాల్సిన ప్రతి డిజైన్లోనూ మనం ఫంక్షన్స్ని ప్రొసీజర్స్ని యూస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. దట్ ఈస్ ద అడ్వాంటేజ్ విత్ ద ఫంక్షన్స్ అండ్ ప్రొసీజర్స్, రైట్? సో విత్ దిస్ ఫర్ టుడే we will conclude. In the tomorrow session we will discuss about the packages and library. ప్యాకేజెస్ అండ్ లైబ్రరీ. మీరు ఇప్పుడు ప్రొసీజర్స్ ఫంక్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, వీటిని నేను వేరే మల్టిపుల్ డిజైన్ యూనిట్లో యూస్ చేయాలంటే ఎట్లా యూస్ చేయాలి? దానికి మనం ప్యాకేజెస్ని వాడతాము, దానికి మనం ప్యాకేజెస్ని యూస్ చేస్తాం. సో ప్యాకేజెస్ని యూస్ చేసుకొని ప్రొసీజర్స్ని ఫంక్షన్స్ని వేరే డిజైన్లో మనం కాల్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. సో ఇన్ ద నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ వీ విల్ డిస్కస్ అబౌట్ ది packages and libraries. Okay, so with this I am concluding for today's session. So do you have any questions?